How's it going, everyone? Excited to show you this podcast. But before we jump into it, I just had Alessandro on to talk about the big changes with the Italian citizenship laws. Since then, a couple things have changed. We actually break down a lot of it in the podcast, but here's the quick update. The Constitutional Court released a ruling that didn't officially strike down the Tajini decree, but did raise serious concerns, especially about it being applied retroactively. The court reaffirmed that citizenship by descent is acquired from birth, meaning you can't just lose it automatically later on. That kind of retroactive loss goes against both the Italian Constitution and European law. The new decree also added some pretty tough requirements, like saying your ancestor had to have only Italian citizenship and that your parent must have lived 2 continuous years in Italy. The court basically said those restrictions could be unreasonable or even discriminatory, especially for people with dual citizenship. Right now, other courts like in Turin and Naples have already raised similar constitutional challenges, and a final ruling could come as early as 2026. So overall, the latest decision looks promising for those challenging this reform. It suggests that parts of the 2025 decree might violate the Constitution and European Union principles of fairness and proportionality. But check out the podcast. Alessandro breaks everything down perfectly. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And talk to you guys soon.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Nico here with the Wooden Spoon, and I'm very excited. We have a very special episode today. I'm joined by Alessandro Mignacca and Pietro. What's your last name, Pete? Tripodi. And we're going to talk all Italian dual citizenship today. Alessandro has a law firm out of Rome, and he specializes in helping Americans get, or I'm sure people all around the world get citizenship in Italy. Now, it's a very touchy subject right now because they had just passed a law. I'm not sure who. Maybe you could dive into exactly who passed this law, but it pretty much bars a lot of people from obtaining their dual citizenship, where before it was a fairly easier process than it is now. So maybe you could explain a little bit on that.
Yeah, yes, for sure. Thank you very much for inviting us. It's a pleasure to stay here with you. And we try to explain something a little bit complicated because we are in transition period down the new decree law, but for explain exactly what's happened right now for all the Italian desks.
Yeah, so maybe let's take it back like a year ago. What would I need 1 year ago to get my Italian dual citizenship?
Yeah, all the law in Italy, because we had only 3 different law in Italy about citizenship. So in last century, 1865, and after in 1912, and the last one in 1992, always say, okay, you need to show your descendant. So who is your ancestor born in Italy, the Italian one, and after you need to produce the paper who show the descendant, so the genealogical tree in the right line, the straight line.
How far back would like a great grandfather be okay? A great great grandfather?
So it's incredible, but before the new decree law, our law was one of the most liberal and open citizen in the world, maybe because the temporal criteria was only if the ancestor not died before the Italian Union, so in 1861.
Okay.
So maybe the grandfather is Italian and you are still eligible. So
okay. So it was fairly easy as long as you had a relative in Italy after 1861 to get citizenship.
Yeah, and that was down the old law because each law said always the same. So only the 2 next one. So in the 1912 say, okay, we produce a new law, but the new law can work only for the future. So only for who born from now and in the future, but not touch the right acquired before, who born before. And the same things in the new law in 1992. In 1992, they preserve the right who born before and modify the position only for who born after. So work only for the future. This is a very important criteria in the world in the law, because the law can apply only for the future and can be retroactive, because retroactive law produces some different consequence and implication, often unconstitutional consequence. Okay. So what's happened in that scenario? So we have almost 70, 80 million Italian descendants all around the world, because our law is the mirror, okay, of the scenario in Italy, because our country was a country of immigration. Our constitution is the only constitution in Europe who mentioned the word immigrant.
Okay.
So this is very important because it's part of us. Our economy is founded, is based on all about in the last century for the people who immigrants and the produce economy, and especially the propaganda in Italy was you need to go outside and produce economy and bring that money in Italy for feed your family probably. So that law is the explain what was our society. So obviously it's necessary right now produce a new law, but we need a balanced law, so a proportional law. And that decree law, what's happening in 27 March 25, one day, so in that day, the government appear in the press conference and say, okay, from yesterday, who born abroad is considering never acquired the Italian citizenship. So this is the sentence. Who born abroad never acquired the Italian citizenship. Not only for the future, but the first time in history in Italy about the citizenship, even who born in the past. Okay. So retroactive. So this is a derogate of the last 3 law about citizenship, and this is something incredible because it's a surprise law. And the meaning of that surprise law was we need to do this specifically for cut the requests, the thousand requests, especially in Southern North America. But because the immigration in Italy was huge, especially in South America, in North America, in different period, and but in Europe too, because we are a lot of person in Belgium, in Germany, or in Spain, or in France, and another group moved to the Oceania, no? It was to Australia and New Zealand. So. That law involved the person who come from really all around the world, worldwide. So the point is, from now, it's considered never acquired the Italian citizenship who born abroad.
So what does that mean? So nobody, like, what would the new steps be? So say this new law 100% went into effect. What would the new pathway to citizenship?
No, but there are implications because they explain that there are exceptions. Mm-hmm. Which are the exceptions? The first one, if you get an appointment in the consulate, or if you live in Italy with the municipality. And when we're talking about appointment, the meaning in our dictionary is when 2 or more people find a place, date, and a time for meeting each other. So that means that there are a lot of people who stay down the line, so waiting for the appointment. And but they doesn't have the date, the specific date, so they are done. The right is that person are not more Italian. And I have a client for sure in Brazil, and in Brazil the situation is critical. Maybe is more critical than here. And for example, the São Paulo consulate this year called the person who requested the citizenship in 2016. So they wait 9 years, and in this year it deserves the appointment, and they are not more Italian because they doesn't have the appointment. This is something incredible. Wow. I have another client, the wife of Italian descendant. And explained that the husband, they live in Abu Dhabi, and in Abu Dhabi, no Italian descendant there. So you arrive in the consulate, maybe produce the documentation, and in 3, 4, 5 months you are Italian. So that person is Italian, yes. They have the opportunity, lucky to stay in a country where the consulate work better because not too much requests.
It's not busy.
It's not too busy.
So if you were in a country that had like no appointments before you, it would be very easy to get the pathway to citizenship.
This is the first criteria, so it's incredible, and this is a complete discrimination for who stayed in a country or another one. The second criteria was who stayed down a legal action. Okay, if you start the process before the 27 March 25, so you are Italian.
Okay.
You are considered Italian by birth. This is a very good principle, and it's interesting because the government understands that that principle is necessary of effectiveness of the law. So if you start a process down a law, the day after change the law, but is not effect for the case.
No, just let's take it back 1 second. Is the criteria still the same? You still had to have a descendant prior to, or a descendant after 1861. Are those the criteria of being able to be an Italian dual citizenship still the same, or did that change as well?
No. For that person who down the criteria is the same. They need to show the descendant. And then we have the number 3 and number 4 criteria is down the block, continue down the block. So if you have one parents or grandparents who, when who request the citizenship born, that person need to be exclusively Italian.
Okay.
Not get another citizenship. This is the first criteria. And the first block criteria, so the third one. And the fourth one was if your parents, or only the parents, even had 2 citizenship or more, not exclusively Italian, but need to spend 2 years continuously in like residential before the request born, so the children born. Outside that 4 criteria, everybody are considering not more Italian. And this is incredible because when you're talking about, well, then there is a position of the minor, for example, because the minor of the Italian one are not more considered Italian by birth.
Okay.
If are not down that criteria. But they have the privilege to, for example, an Italian who be recognized in the past and never spent 2 years in Italy, for example. And in that case, they have the children born abroad. They have only till the 31st May 27 for produce a declaration for becoming Italian. But that kind of Italianness is different. It's not by birth. It's like a naturalization. It's a benefit of the law. It's like, okay, you are privileged. And it is incredible because that who is the Italian by birth can pass the citizenship to the children, and who are Italian by privilege can pass that citizenship. So, for example, I have situation in the process where a father introduced one children in the judicial action, so his children can be recognized like by birth. And the small one, maybe they wait for registry in the Bible of Records only after, down the old law. And right now, the new children is not more Italian by birth, but only by benefit. So the children of that first children can be Italian, and the second one not. So it completely discriminated the different minor in the same family. So why? And so the point is, what's happened with everybody who are not more Italian? So almost 60 million people in only one night lost the right to be Italian. Okay, so the point is this: we gain in our law firm are part of that great process in 2022, the great Brazilian naturalization, and our Supreme Court said only 3 years ago, the Italian citizenship is acquired when you born. The right, your Italianness, your right to be Italian, you get it when you born. And once acquired, so when you born, you can check it in the whole life, only for formalize that condition, only for formalize that status. But it's not meaning that you are Italian or not. That meaning that you are recognized like Italian or not, but you are Italian when you born. And that right that you gain when you born is permanent, is absolute, and nobody can take off in the future. Only if you want.
This is as long as you had descendants in Italy.
This is for everybody who born down an Italian descendant.
Okay.
Even that 60 million person who lost the citizenship. So if in the future arrive on a government and say, okay, if you are not down that 4 criteria, you are not more recognized like Italian. No, you are considered never acquired Italian citizenship. is like someone who get the time machine, arriving your birthday, and say, okay, in that day you are not more Italian, and this is a kind of loss of citizenship, and loss of citizenship is something very, very serious. Not only in our constitution, in Italian constitution, but down the principle of European law, and down the principle of international law, the treaty. So the point is considering that new decree law completely unconstitutional. And for say this, is necessary to raise a constitutional question to our constitutional court. Because in Italy you have the High Court, the Supreme Court, and then there is another court, name is Corte Costituzionale, okay, the Constitutional Court. And the only work that that court does is check if the new law is compliance with the Constitution. And for arrive to the Constitutional Court, is necessary that you propose something interesting to a judge, and the judge understand the context and understand that probably a new law is unconstitutional, and raise a constitutional question to that court. And only 1 month after the conversion of that decree law, because that decree law operated like pending measure, so operated till the 27th March, but deserve a law of conversion law, a specific law of our Congress, and that law arrived only in 20 May of 25, of course. And in the 26th June, we rise through a Turin judge the constitutional question to the court. So we are exactly in the middle of the fight with that new decree law, and our expectation is block the retroactivity of that new law, and rescue the citizenship of more than 60 million persons.
So right now it's not 100% in place. It's not guaranteed yet, right?
No, right now you can, who are not down in that 4 criteria, cannot go more in a consulate. The only way to preserve the right is going in front of the judge, start the action. Why? Because the decree law is part of the strategy, of course, of the government, and the strategy is block the requests all around the world, especially in South America, where in Brazil there are more of 35 million Italian descendants, and in Argentina 25 million Italian descendants.
Wow.
So, and of course here in US we have 17 million Italian descendants. So, sorry, too much requests, and the point was okay, we block it. The strategy was we block it, the new request. Maybe they knows that this is a little bit unconstitutional cut in only one night all that new citizenship. So they produce a proposal of a new law in the same day. They stopped everybody and produce a draft of the new law about citizenship, who move forward to the last law in 1992, because that decree law only put one article more in the law of 1992, and it still continue in function.
Okay.
The old law. They doesn't change the law. They say only one article, who born abroad is not more Italian, but the law is the same. Is the law of 1992. So they propose a completely new law, who invest the old law, including that new article for everybody. So if, and we are pretty sure that our constitutional court change that part of law down the retroactivity, the government can put more criteria for get the citizenship, like Italian language, or like the genuine link if you are involved with the Italian country. So in that way, probably if you start, for example, a process right now, you freeze your right, because in the part of retroactive doesn't work again, after the unconstitutional ruling of the Constitutional Court. So you are down the old law of 1992.
Okay. So as of, like, if I wanted to get my dual citizenship right now, is it possible or is it not possible?
Well, depend if you are eligible or not from that new decree law. And if you're not, you can go to the consulate. So the only way for you is preserve your right in the judge, in the court, start a legal action. The first, we think that the solution arrive in between 8 and 12 months, because the constitutional court is pretty fast to decision, to ruling. But repeat, when the decision become public of a constitutional court, the government are obligated to change that part of law and constitutional. So they are already pronti preparati, already prepared with the new law for stress in another way and limited the possibility to access to the right.
Okay, so they're trying. What is their reason behind doing this? So what is the government like? Why do they want to stop people from coming and becoming dual citizens or getting their Italian citizenship?
Well, the official reason is that there are some agency or some consulate that they don't work very well, especially agencies, so private person who offer the service all around the world. They produce something document is not very legal document, or falsificated documents, something not very clear. So this is one of the reason. Of course, I think the most important reason is that because the administration, the consulate can produce the same result for everybody. Not too much employee, not very good software, because the software of our public administration are not the new version, the new one. We are a little bit older in the case by down the software. So our exterior machine, like consulate machine, are not able to receive all that requests. But our society is based on the descendant, and the descendants are deserve to be considered like a solution for a lot of problem, because you are the ambassador of the Made in Italy, of the start of our story. And Giorgia Meloni said the Italian descendants are the ambassador. But even though they changed the law in the that streeted way. So
was it Giorgia Meloni that changed the law?
It's the government, because everybody need to sign. The decree law is a kind of law different for the normal path, legislative normal path. So in the Congress, the decree law is a decision of the government. It's a political decision. So you start with the decree law, they have the effect in the same day, and after the Congress can convert in law in the next 60 days, so in 2 months. And when the decree law is approved, the Presidente del Consiglio, our president sign, the Minister of Exterior, the Minister of Interior need to sign, and of course our Presidente della Repubblica, Mattarella.
Okay.
Everybody sign.
Okay. Now, how do how do Italian citizens, like people that are living in Italy, what do they feel like? Or is it torn? Are they like 50-50 split? Do some favor this law? Do they disagree with the law?
So
what is the sentiment in Italy?
It's not the sentiment of Italy, because the information in Italy is a little bit blinded. So they start to, before, maybe it's a coincidence, but I don't non credo, no? I don't believe a lot of in coincidence. So they start with in television, so to program against the descendants or the 4-5 generation in Brazil that doesn't know where Italy is in the map, and so they created a strange sentimental in Italy through that programs. Okay. And after start that law. This is a coincidental, but I don't believe it is. So, but down the juridic point of view, one of the articles, for example, against that new decree law touch is the international obligation in Italy, because when the Italy sign international treatment. So the international treat So he need to follow the disposal of that treaty, international treaty. And probably this is above the national law.
Okay.
And when you get citizenship of one of the member of the European Union, you get the European citizenship. And this is very heavy, very important things. We have the Article 9 in the Treaty of European Union, the Article 20 of the Treaty of Function of European Union, and say, okay, if you are citizen of one state member, you are European citizen. And provide a European citizenship is obligated down a different principle. The most important thing is the principle of proportionality. So, who lost the citizenship? Because, of course, the member, the state, the nation, the country have the power through the politician to change the law, of course. But need to be proportionality. Need to deserve a time frame for loss that citizenship down before who going to loss understand what's happened and why, and if they want to preserve that right, can do something for preserve that right. So the surprise law is completely against the principle of proportionality in Europe. Okay. And our European Court of Justice said the same things against Denmark only 2 years ago, 2023. Because in Denmark happens that a law said if you're born abroad and till 22 years old, you never show the genuine link, the connection with the country, you are not more Denmark. And the European courts say, no, this is not fair. This is not right to the principle of proportionality. And push the Denmark to change that law.
So it's a similar situation.
So it's exactly the similar situation because you can lose. And this is the principle in to the Brazilian great naturalization because, it's a long story, a little bit boring, but is only important for freeze the principle that you can lose the citizenship only if you produce a manifestation of the will to lost. For example, before the 1992, you lost the Italian citizenship because you claim another citizenship, but you manifested the interest for get another one, not for decision of a third part. You are in cede on your right, so you are you need to drive the destination of your right in that case. So this decree law is completely against the principle of proportionality in Europe. It's completely against the Article 15 of the paper of human right, the universal paper of human rights. So nobody can deprive of his nationality. In that case, 60 million person was deprived of his nationality in only one night.
So now when you say the 16 million, these are people actively trying to get...
No, the 60 million people are person who born down the descendant and get the citizenship when he's born, when they born. So the formalization in the consulate is not become Italian. It's only become your Italianness public because the right you get when you're born. So if you're born like Italian, you get that right when you're born, you are still Italian right now. Because a decree law can work like, okay, from now you are considered not more Italian. It's completely unconstitutional because you get that right when you're born. And you can formalize.
So so it's pretty much just the formalization of your dual citizenship.
Exactly. Okay. It's not a substantial right. You get the substantial right. It is a little bit difficult to understand, but it's the principle in right in Italy. You are Italian down Italian descendant, and when you become Italian is the birthday, when you arrive in the world, and you can show to a public officer, in that case can be the judge or the public officer in the consulate, which is the genealogical line from the ancestor to who produced the request of the citizenship. But it's only the formalization of that right.
Okay.
And our high-level court said this only 3 years ago in Brazilian great naturalization, and at least if we thinking about the loss of citizenship, for example, and the discrimination that situation bring, is the same case, for example, for the women, Italian women, because till 1975, so till a pronunciation of our constitutional court, only the father can be able to pass the citizenship in the past.
Oh, wow.
The women not, the mother not. So that changed only through a decision of our constitutional court in 1965. And this is the same case. So the constitutional court preserved the right to acquire when you're born. So for our point of view, and when I talk about when I say we are, because I'm part of an association, juristic association of Iure Sanguinis in Italy, and we stay behind like association of the decision of the judge in Turin. Produce an act between with the professor professor of constitutional law in some of the most important university in Italy. Some judge is involved in too, and for example, one of the point of view. Formal point of view was produced by a judge of the Constitutional Court, one of the 15 judge, and he can no pronunciation in that case because he already expressed the point of view. So in Italy, everybody who stay involved with the constitutional law said the same. Law is completely unconstitutional. But the goal of the government was stop claim citizenship in the consulate, and they arrive in the goal.
Now, what do you think is going to happen at the end of this? So in a year from now, do you think they're going to make a slight change to the law, or do you think it'll go back to normal, or do you think?
Well, my colleague say in the speech in front of a very important another situation about that citizenship. In front of the Constitutional Court only 24 June, so only 3 weeks ago, and say that new decree law created a metastasis of juridical metastasis, because the implication in the old sector of judicial for that person who are not more considered like Italian is incredible. But the only way to the only solution right here is what the judge in Turin raised like a constitutional questionment. So eliminated the retroactive part. So that law can work only for who born after 27 March 25. For who born before, they deserve to continue like Italian and continue to ask to the consulate in that case the citizenship, and if it's not, the only way is a judicial way.
Okay. So I guess like for me, for example, if I wanted right now, if I came to you as a client and I said, I want to get my dual citizenship, even after the decree, what I want to see if I would be qualified. So what would I need exactly to even still after this law become an Italian citizen?
For sure, it is necessary to understand your genealogical tree.
For me, for example, 3 out of my 4 grandparents were born in Italy. They did come here, and I think I'm not too sure. I know my mom's father, my nono, still had his Italian citizenship. He was still voting, and I remember him voting in Italian elections when I was little. Would I still be qualified, or?
So depend, because we need to see the situation of that 3 grandfather or mother, so grandparents. If one of them never naturalized American. This is the first step. If never naturalized American, down the new decree law, you are included in that
retroact.
No, not the retroaction. Yeah. We are down the criteria of the new decree law.
Yeah.
So in that case, if one of them never naturalized, in the old law, you are for sure Italian. You are eligible. But we need to see if you are eligible down the new criteria.
Yes,
so we need to see if when your grandfather who never naturalized pass the citizenship for your father or your mother's side. So in that case, you are eligible. You continue still like eligible.
But if he became a United States citizen,
Because maybe depend when born your mother or father, for example. Because we are involved in another fight, is a minor issue fight. So depend if your grandparents naturalized when your father or mother was still adult or minor.
if they did become citizens, it was, I think, before my mother was born or when she was very young.
So in that case, are not eligible because, for example, your mother never get the possibility to be Italian because your grandfather lost the citizenship when you get another one before 92.
But
So
if they naturalized after she was born,
After
possibly.
Yes, in that case, they are not eligible because can pass the citizenship to you to the children. And even though before 3 October 24, the naturalization of the Italian one involved the possibility to be Italian for the children only if he get the citizenship after he's born. So if they get after he's born, before October 24, the children is still Italian. After 24, 3 October 24, the minor case say, if your father or mother, Italian, become American in that case, so get a naturalization before 92, he lost the citizenship, and if you, your children is still minor, you lost too. So that naturalization of the Italian one doesn't have the effect only if the children was still adult. No, was already adult. Okay, so in that case, for that grandfather, you are not eligible.
Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm eligible. What are some, I guess, besides like all the laws and everything, what would be like the pros? What would be a benefit to becoming a dual citizen? Like, why should someone like me like want to be a dual citizen?
Yes, of course, you're open to be Italian like citizens, so open to all the public service like the healthcare or of course the university, the college, for example. But at least you can move all around Europe because you are not only Italian citizen, but you are European citizen. This is very important to the business too. For example, for be able to move your residential in each country in Europe. This is important in the point of view, for example, for the old people who are retired, because there are bilateral agreement for preserve and not produce a double taxation of for example, the pension for the person who are retired.
That was my next question. If I did become a dual citizen, would I have to file tax returns in both the U.S. and Italy?
No, you are not obligation in Italy. The only obligation is a vote. Okay, if you are residential abroad and you have not produced economy in Italy. So if you are Italian and live abroad, you are not subject to the taxation in Italy.
Okay.
Of course, if you move the residential, and that means that you are subject to the taxation in Italy if you spend, and if you are resident in Italy for 6 months, one more day. So the majority part of the year, and you produce economy, so you are subject to the taxation in Italy.
Okay.
This is the only way to be.
What if I guess if I lived abroad but I still had a property, would I be able to buy property in Italy not
Yes,
being a resident?
Yeah, foreign can able to buy a property in Italy through the delegation for representative in a person in Italy, and through the notary. The notary procedures, because it's, of course, changing the property is something public, and so we need to do this in that way.
Is it easier to buy property in Italy if I was a dual citizen?
Yes, of course, because you are considered like Italian. You have the Italian documents, so a bunch of paper and a bunch of administrative and step by step is easier for you, because you can move, for example, like a privilege, for example, with the notarized path. Because if you are foreign, for example, you deserve a specifically a power for acting in name of.
Okay, great, awesome. So what are the next steps? What could someone like me do to help the the fight that you're fighting right now? What could we do to help if there is anything?
No, the point here is for us produce the same effect all around 25 court responsible for the citizenship in Italy. And the objective is, of course, the court expression, the ruling, publishes the ruling almost in between 8 and 12 months. But the Turin was the first judge, the first court above 25. So the objective is raise the constitutional question for every 25 court. So like a manifestation of the power of the Italian descendant all around the world. And this is almost happened in the decree law case because for the conversation of the law, the Senate convocate influent person all around the world, Italian descendant, and there are organizations all around the world who explain the point of view and how that new law is completely unfair. So I think the Italian descendant need to be strong and continue like fulfilling like Italian, like the same, because we are able to cancel that retroactive and permit to the Italian descendant to get one more time Italian citizenship for sure.
Awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much for all. I feel like I know because before this, I obviously you see things on social media like what does this even mean? Like I'm not too sure, but I appreciate you explaining this. How could if somebody wanted to like hire you guys to help them with their dual citizenship, where could they find you? What's the best way to get in contact?
Of course, by site, so by our telephone number, or to Italiza company here. We have Pietro, who is responsible here in New Jersey of Italiza, and of course we're able to understand each case, understand specifically the documentation that we are behind each case, because especially in that situation after the decree law, the citizenship deserve a little bit expert for understand the implication of and the new scenario, which is the best path for arrive to the success.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming
pleasure.
on, and I appreciate it. Everybody watching, make sure to, if you are interested in dual citizenship, to contact Alessandro or Pietro, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with all people that are Italian descendants to get the word out. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Grazie mille. Ciao.
Awesome. Thank you.